like this. Perfect example. It's like, you know what? Since you're checking my spirit and telling me what I should be doing, now I'm offended. I'm going to find some way to be offended so that way I don't got to be in class. I don't got to hear you saying. I don't got to be around. I can use the fact that I'm offended through what you're telling me through the Bible as a reason to not be around. I can have an excuse. A sinful man will find an excuse for every occasion.
Just said that in my head.
Well, say it out loud. Ooh. I'm black and I'm proud. Right? But that's the thing where I'm offended. Is that person really offended? Hell nah. You coming up with excuses. But it says, woe to him through whom they come, because why? We're not supposed to be the one causing offenses. Through our own vain thinking, through our own lack of discernment. I'd rather the Bible offend you than me offend you. Y'all understand that, right? The Bible does offend folks. You don't want to align with that spirit. Those of your household will be your foes. They're offended by what you're saying. Technically, when you get into it. But the offense shouldn't come through you, through your lack of judgment, lack of clarity, lack of discernment, lack of balance, lack of timing. Timing is a big thing where brothers, timing be off. Sisters, timing be off. Your timing be off with your husband, and you come with the beast mode talk. You talk like a little animal. But around everybody else, you're like, oh yeah, shalom. But with your husband, you just an animal, brute beats at the wrong time. There's no time for that. Read where we at.
Luke chapter 17, verse 1. Then said he unto the disciples,
go ahead.
It is impossible, but that offenses will come.
Go ahead.
But woe unto him through whom they come.
Read.
It is there. Excuse me.
Somebody pick up for me. Luke.
It would have better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck.
Y'all know what a millstone? Y'all know how big a millstone is? Y'all know how big a millstone's pretty big. It's not small. This is what they used to grind the wheat, right? And it was a huge stone that just went around and ground it up.
Something you couldn't swim with?
Bro, put it like this. You put a millstone around your neck. You said what?
The same thing with Simpson on.
Yeah. You put a millstone around your neck, that's going to rip your head off. It's going to rip your head from your body. Millstones weigh like tons. They're not light.
Right.
They're not light. That's like tons of weight. Yeah, it's like you throw that in, you roll it off, it didn't pull you and it will rip you in half before you get down to the water. He said it would be better if what?
It were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck.
Yeah, it was better if basically you weren't even around. Go ahead.
And he cast into the sea, then that he should offend one of these little ones.
Yeah, because our job wasn't to offend one another. Our job was to look and get out of that natural man. And even if you did offend and you did make the mistake, you were supposed to say, okay, well, damn, I made a mistake. Not say, well, nah, they're wicked, they're off, she's wicked, she did it wrong, I did it right. That wasn't our job. We're always supposed to look back on ourselves. Watch, read on, watch. I feel like I'm making it up. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Take heed to yourself.
Wait. Do what?
Take heed to yourself.
Wait. Act like you perfect.
Take heed to yourself.
Read.
If thy brother trespass against thee, rebuke
you're supposed to take heed to yourself. Then it goes in, if your brother trespass against you, rebuke him. If he repent, forgive him. But there was still a method to that. You didn't want to offend him in your rebuke. You didn't want him to feel offended in your rebuke. Because you might come to him the wrong way. He trespassed against you, he might not even realize it. You jump up on him, he's like, whoa, I didn't even know I did that. Now he's offended. Now he's gone. Because now he don't want to hear your complaint. Then it's this cycle, right? Go to Wisdom of Solomon 9:14.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 9 verse 14.
One of my favorite scriptures. Now this is the thing where I pull this every class because it's important. I don't care. Because you know why? If we were so spiritually discerned, we wouldn't make so many mistakes. If we were so spiritually discerned, we would repeat our offenses and repeat our mistakes and go down the same path over and over. We'll be able to see like, damn, okay, let me attain the wisdom so I can do better and grow. If we were so spiritual and understood the things of the spirit, we would grow a lot faster. Read that.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 9 verse 14.
Go ahead.
For the thoughts of mortal men are miserable.
See, you're in that natural man. You're in the mind of the natural man. You're in the mind of the first Adam. Now you're miserable. Because why? You keep making the same mistakes over and over. You get what you want. You make the mistakes over and over, and you lose what you had. Now you're miserable. Because you're using your own thinking. Go ahead.
And our devices are but uncertain.
And the devices you use, the devices that you use to fix your misery, they're uncertain. Instead of saying, let me use the wisdom to fix things. Let me use true wisdom, true balance, true discernment and discretion to fix my issues. In my mind, I'm right. In my mind, I was perfect. In my mind, everything was all good. They were off. In my mind, them brothers in Colorado was wicked. They were off.
All of them.
All of them. Instead of saying, damn, you know what? Let me revamp my thinking. Let me look back and say, wow. Well, you know, if I would have talked to that brother, if I would have understood that brother, he didn't need to be, I didn't need to speak to him in a forward tone. I could have been meek with that brother. But that brother, he needed to be dealt with forward. He needed to be rebuked sharply. But this brother over here, he didn't need that because he was doing the right thing. He just made mistakes, not intentionally. But I rebuked him as if he was a wicked man. I rebuked him as if he was dumb and stupid. See, I didn't give him what he needed. I didn't walk with caution towards this man and say, damn, nah, he don't need to be rebuked sharply. He just needs to be restored in the spirit of meekness. But him, no, he needs to be rebuked sharply because he wasn't listening. And he didn't. His mistakes were habitual. His mistakes were almost purpose. So I had to rebuke him sharply so that all can fear. You see that? It's about knowing what each individual needs at the time. Well, damn, the sister looks like she's having a hard time. She's dealing with something in her mind. Well, revelation of Christ. Let's go here. She don't need revelation of Christ. She needs spiritual healing. You see what I'm saying, though? That's where brothers be at. It's like your rib needs to be healed spiritually, but you want to read her the law. The law can't do nothing for her spirit when she don't know how to deal with a man. She don't know how to deal with people. She don't know how to deal with herself. She don't even have confidence. Well, let's take you to the things that are going to heal your spirit. Not through Jeremiah and destruction. Not through Isaiah and destruction. Let's go to Isaiah 63. No, that ain't going to do nothing for a person that needs their spirit healed. That's just knowledge. But see, discerning and understanding what's needed for a person at the time, you're going to give them the right medicine. If a brother comes to me for counsel about his rib, I'm not going to take him into destruction. I'm not going to take him into Genesis chapter 1 breakdown. Unless it has something to pertain with that. Y'all understand that, right? Go verse 15.
Verse 15. For the corruptible body presseth down the soul.
Yeah, your corruptible body, that old man is pressing down that soul. Go ahead.
And the earthly tabernacle weigheth down the mind.
Yeah, your earthly body that's been beat up, used, and abused throughout the years, it weighs down your mind. And your mind ain't right, because why? Read on.
That museth upon many things.
Yeah, your mind is everywhere. It's on all these different thoughts. It's on all these different ways of getting things done and what you need and what you want. It's on all these different carnal thoughts.
What you used to be.
What you used to be, what you used to have, how you used to get it.
How you used to look.
How you used to look. Yeah, it's like all this carnal stuff. Watch, read on.
Verse 16. And hardly.
And what?
And hardly.
Wait. I got the answers.
And hardly.
I can spiritually discern.
And hardly.
Read.
Do we guess aright at things that are upon the earth.
I mean, this is the Bible talking. This ain't me.
Right.
says, hardly do we guess it right. Again, you got the brothers that say, oh, I can look at a brother and tell that he's Israel. No, you can't. No, you can't. Because everybody's Israel. Everybody want to be a Jew. Every Hamite walking around trying to be a Negro. We see it every day. We see it every day. That's why you have to ask. That's why you got to speak on it and not judge off the side of your eyes or the hearing of your ears. Because, man, listen. My rib works with a dude. My rib works with this guy. I believe he's Mexican. He speaks full Spanish. But he was born in Nigeria. And he looks Nigerian. What say he? But you look at him, you think like, yeah, he's straight up African. I look at him like he's African, and he starts talking, and he has an accent of a Mexican that just learned English. You know that real heavy accent of English, like yeah, like messing up words. Yeah, but then when he hits that Spanish, you're like, what in the hell is like? Who are you? And you think like, oh, you're Colombian, right? Brothers make that all wrong. It's like, oh, he got to be Dominican because he's dark. He's Honduran because he's black.
Okay.
Nah. Oh, no, actually, I got it wrong. He's actually Nigerian, but he was born in Mexico. Excuse me. He's Nigerian, born in Mexico, full Spanish. It's like, oh, girl. Remember the one that worked at the coffee?
All right.
Full Vietnamese.
Chinese.
Full Chinese. She started talking. She was born in Venezuela. But guess what? She don't look Chinese. And then she gets to talking. You're like, oh yeah, she's South American. She's 9.5, baby. I'm gonna get with that, right? And then she started breaking it down, and you realize that 3 generations down, her people moved from China to Venezuela to own businesses. Then you're like, oh damn, I messed up. But she spoke Spanish. She habla de español, right? But that's the thing is, you get caught up in thinking that you know instead of saying, let me seek things out. What you got?
That's what.
Read.
When you read about Uriel, when Uriel came up to Ezra and he was doing his fast, right? And he hit him with simple things because in the scripture we just read it said, and hardly do we guess the things that are right, right?
Hardly do we guess the right on the things that are on earth.
The things that, I'm sorry, I butchered it. Read it again.
God.
Hardly do we guess aright at the things that are up on earth.
So he asked Ezra the same thing. He said, how many waterfalls are in the deep of the ocean? How many? Weighty the weight of a flame. We can't even. We're not even.
Listen, man, it's like Christ said, we can't even change our stature and make a hair on our head gray.
There we go.
Because we can't do. We don't have we don't have the power that we think we tell ourselves that we have, because we haven't went through the trials and tribulations. We haven't given. You know what? We haven't given ourselves to wisdom. At the end of the day, you haven't made wisdom. Like it says in Ecclesiastes 6, you haven't changed yourself to wisdom and let wisdom be your teacher. You haven't jailed yourself and became a prisoner of wisdom. You're still a prisoner in your own damn mind. That's why you're miserable. That's why you don't guess the right. Read on.
God. And with labor.
And with what?
Labor.
What labor? Not the labor that wisdom gives, but the labor in your head. Like, damn, am I right? Am I wrong? What did I do? How come I didn't do that right? How come this? How come that happened? How come this didn't work? How come this didn't work? How come my husband deals with me like this? How come the brothers deal with me like this? I'm laboring in my head of why. Go ahead.
And with labor do we find the things that are before us.
But I can't even understand the things that are in front of me. I'm laboring like, damn, what the hell's going on here? Go ahead.
But the things that are in heaven.
What?
But the things that are in heaven.
Spiritual things. Go ahead.
Who has searched out.
Read.
And thy counsel.
And thy what?
Counsel.
Whose counsel? My own? And thy counsel. Read it again.
And thy counsel.
Read.
Who hath known?
Read.
Except thou give wisdom.
It's got to come from wisdom. Go ahead.
And send thy Holy Spirit from above.
The wisdom is the experiences of my own, making mistakes and realizing that I made a mistake. I didn't do things the right way. Or I did do things the right way. Let me figure out how to do things the better way on top of the right way and add to it. This is wisdom. Go ahead.
Verse 18. For so the ways of them which lived on the earth were reformed.
Wait, what?
For so the ways of them which lived on the earth were reformed.
Right, because we all need to be reformed in some aspect. Because we're not all right in everything. Our thinking has to be reformed through the Spirit, through wisdom, through knowledge, through understanding, and the application thereof. Go ahead.
And men taught the things that are pleasing.
Men were taught the things, go ahead,
that are pleasing unto thee.
Read, unto themselves.
Unto thee.
What they wanted.
Unto thee.
What they thought.
Unto thee.
Go ahead.
And were saved through wisdom.
Because discretion will preserve you. Knowing how to approach situations. Understanding will keep thee. Go to 1 Timothy 4 and 12. I'm going to finish this up. It's only like 4 more scriptures.
1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 12.
It's really 4 more. Go ahead.
Let no man despise thy youth.
Why can you think about it? Now this is talking about what youth? A man's youth and age, right? A man's youth and age in the spirit, but also in his physical carnal age. It says, let no man despise thy youth. Why? Read.
But be thou an example.
But be a what?
An example.
See, it was about being an example. It wasn't about letting my mind drift off. It wasn't about taking counsel in my own head. It wasn't about letting the corruptible thoughts, the mortal thoughts, beat me down. But it was about being an example, read.
Of the believers.
Of what?
Of the believers.
Go ahead.
In word.
Read.
In conversation.
Read.
In charity.
Read.
In spirit.
In what?
In spirit.
Read.
In faith.
Read. Not wavering back and forth, but I'm faithful in what I've learned. Go ahead.
In purity.
I'm keeping my mind pure from all bad outlooks. I'm keeping my mind pure from, at the end of the day, listen, I don't care. I know my thoughts. I know my thoughts without wisdom. At the end of the day, they're not good. My thoughts without wisdom, like David said, how foolish and ignorant. I was a beast before you. I'm a beast. If you can't recognize that in yourself, that without wisdom you're a beast, then we need to jump back up to Proverbs and read that again. But go ahead.
It's like the hope. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got that remedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need that antidote.
Yeah.
He need that spiritual.
But even the Hulk knew that he was an animal.
God.
Even he knew, like, I gotta suppress this beast.
Yeah,
Jackal Mr. High.
No, my apologies. That's what I meant.
Jackal Mr. High.
God.
He knew, like, yo, get away from me. When I'm about to switch up, don't be around me.
All right.
I need my antidote every 12 hours.
That's what I meant.
You see that?
God.
Read verse 13.
Verse 13. Till I come, give attendance to reading.
Read.
To exhortation.
Because this is what it was about. Let me attend to reading and dealing with the things that I needed to learn how to discern and build and grow my spirit. Go ahead.
To doctrine.
To exhortation. Building my brothers and sisters. To doctrine. Read.
Neglect not the gift that is in thee.
Right. Don't neglect the gifts that the Most High put in you to try to grab some other gift. I'm gonna neglect the gifts that the Most High already gave me so I could attain some other gift that I ain't ready for yet. Right. Don't neglect what you already have. Don't look past what you have. Brothers and sisters, do that. You look past what you're supposed to be building on to try to attain something that you ain't ready for yet. And then you say, well, no, I don't need this because I want this. But guess what? Your battles require you to have the basics. The battles you go through don't require you to have the strong meat. You need the milk. Your battles are basic. Use the milk to defeat your battles. Don't be using overkill. Brothers be overkill. You need the basic syringe. Right? You're trying to lift the heavy Thor's hammer. What is it?
Mjolnir.
You're trying to lift Mjolnir. Right? You can't lift him yet because you ain't ready. You haven't been proven. Read on.
Which was given thee by prophecy.
Go ahead.
With the laying on the hands of the presbytery.
Go ahead.
Meditate upon these things.
On what? Read.
Give thyself wholly to them.
Read on.
That thy profiting may appear.
That's how you profit, man. You're supposed to meditate on the things you have, on the gifts that you know the Most High gave for you to build the right way. Don't meditate on the gifts that you think you have, because then you're just going to deceive yourself. Don't meditate on what you think you already know. No, you're supposed to meditate and build the right way. Go ahead.
That thy profiting may appear to all.
This is how you profit. Go ahead.
Take heed unto thyself.
You're supposed to wait. Do what?
Take heed unto
You
thyself.
gotta look at yourself in this mirror, this spiritual mirror. Go ahead.
And unto doctrine.
And onto what?
Doctrine.
Go ahead.
Continue in them.
Read.
For in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee.
Right, because think about it. We all preach in here. We all teach. We all try to build and grow the ones around us. But think about when they don't want to hear you. It's because you need to look in the mirror and see what you're not doing right. That's why they don't want to hear you. You got to look at oneself and say, is my approach on point? Am I coming with discernment? Am I coming with discretion? Am I using the right wording? Am I coming the right way? Am I using the right examples? Am I using the right arena to get through to a person? It's always about looking at ourselves and not thinking that we know and thinking that we got it and acting like we've attained and making ourselves of the number. Ecclesiastes 10 and verse 2. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 2. There, we all said it.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 2.
And we apologize for the internet. Man. Ecclesiastes in the Bible. Salakia. 10 and verse 2. Somebody else get Proverbs 27:12. Another brother.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 2. Ecclesiastes.
Go ahead.
A wise man's heart
I feel like I skipped something.
is at his right hand.
Hold on real quick. Wow, I think I skipped. And I quoted it. Hebrews 5. Wow. I skipped it. Hebrews 5 and verse 12. Did we read that?
Well, no, I think I'll be arguing.
Did you read Hebrews 5? No, we didn't. We didn't. But throw Hebrews 5 in there. Throw Hebrews 5 in there right under Isaiah 5 and 21. Wow, how did I miss that scripture? I quoted it though. Hebrews 5 and 12. No. But for the time you ought be teachers, you have need that someone teach you again. First principles of the oracles of God to become such need of milk and not strong meat. So we hit a scripture dealing with that. The point that I want to bring in there, verse 14, was strong meat belonging to them that are full age.
Yeah, that's the Romans 12.
It was a Corinthians. It was a Corinthians 15 and 40. Because that should have been right in between that. Corinthians 15 and 40. Down in Corinthians 3 and verse 1. And then, is that Romans? But yeah, throw that Hebrews up there by Isaiah 5 and 21. Because the whole point was, it was talking about strong meat belonging to them that are full age, by even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised. See, strong meat ain't just for the age, but it's for them that have their senses exercised. And we're good, and you know, we follow down, we were talking about that. How you know your senses are not exercised? Because you offend, you don't discern. So put that in there. Wow, I quoted it, but I didn't hit it. I'm sorry. Where we at?
Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 2.
Read.
A wise man's heart is at his right hand.
A wise man's heart is at the right hand. Right? Go ahead.
But a fool's heart is at his left.
Go ahead.
Yea, also, when he that is a fool walketh by the way,
Read.
his wisdom faileth him.
His wisdom what?
Faileth him.
Why? Because he didn't give attendance to the things that were needed. He didn't give attendance to doctrine, to exhortation, to reading, to the things that were needed for the spirit to grow. So now when he walked, it says what?
His wisdom faileth him.
His what?
Wisdom faileth
Yeah,
him.
now you're losing everything around you. Now you can't get things around you done the right way. Now you got to ask 50 million times how to do this, how to do that. Now you don't understand why your husband has to direct your path every single step you go, because when you try to use your wisdom, what happened? You failed. Go ahead.
And he saith to everyone that he is a fool.
Yeah, because you prop yourself up. You prop yourself up as the sister that floats on the spirit. You perfect. Everybody else is off. But now when it's time to show and prove, what happened? It's like, damn, I thought she was on point. What happened? Dun, dun, dun. I thought that brother was about this life. Died for the truth. But what happened? A week later, all we did was just pull out that Christ was black and show you that you got to check your pride. And you gone. You say that you're a fool through your actions, through the application of your foolish wisdom. Where we at? Read verse 3.
Verse 3.
Oh, no, that was it. Proverbs 27 and verse 12. No.
Proverbs chapter 27 and verse 12.
No, go to another mistake, and another thing we don't want to do where we're not discerning spiritually is we blame others for our mistakes. We blame others for the things that we didn't get right. Because we're not examining ourselves and not seeing that. What about my own mistakes? Go to Ecclesiastes 11 and 7. Ecclesiastes 11 and 31.
Ecclesiastes 11 verse 7.
Bring it out.
Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 7.
Read.
Lay not before thou hast examined the truth.
Because this was what you were supposed to do. In walking discreetly and spiritually discerning things, you're supposed to know that I'm supposed to blame not before I've gotten the full circumference of what I'm dealing with. Blame not before I've examined the truth. The truth is, part of that examination is me. Part of that examination is me looking at myself and saying, damn, am I the cause of my own mishap? Am I the cause of things not going right in my life because of the wisdom that I've applied? Nope, I'm good. Because I actually did look and see and check myself and said, nope, I followed counsel. I did this. I looked in the Bible. The Bible said I followed that. Now let me go on to the next thing. Let me, at least if I'm going to cast blame, pin the tail on the right donkey. Right? And not just throw a dart in the air blind. Read.
Understand first, and then you do.
Ecclesiastes 11 and 30.
Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 31.
Go ahead.
For he lieth in wait, and turneth good into evil.
See, that prideful man, that man that puts himself up on a pedestal, it says he does what?
Lieth in wait, and turneth good into evil.
Why? Because he doesn't know where to put his blame for things. He doesn't want to look at himself. Sisters don't want to look at themselves to see down. I'm not doing things right. I'm not talking right. The reason why he had to go into my spirit so hard is because, well, I talk to him like I'm a man. I talk to him like I'm the authoritative figure. So now he got to show me that he's the authority. But I'm blaming him for my emotional state. I'm blaming him because I'm not getting things done because it's always about, open your Bible. I'm blaming him because my emotions are everywhere. We got to look at ourselves. Go ahead, lay in wait, read.
And turneth good into evil.
Go ahead.
And in things worthy, praise will lay blame upon thee.
Yeah, we turn the things that are worthy of praise into blame, into negative. We turn good into evil if we don't examine things the right way. Go to we'll leave it at there. We'll leave it there. Y'all understand, right?
Done.
Any questions? I hate the fact that the internet is going off. Y'all got any questions on that? I'm sure that online I don't see anything because we keep going in and out. How do we get that tonight? I don't know. Time. Hey, we're gonna edit there on class. We definitely appreciate the ones that stood by us. We apologize for the internet issues. We got the what? What day is that? Coming up? The 20th? We got the Feast of Pentecost coming up on the 20th. That's just a one-day feast, right? So I'm not sure what we're going to be doing exactly, but it is a feast day. So I'm sure we'll definitely be getting together. If you're in Houston, you want to join, just hit us up, let us know. But we'll come with more details as the week goes on. Today is Wednesday. We got class Friday, Saturday, so I'm sure we'll come with details of our location, where we'll be, if you want to join us. You got any other questions that are off the topic or even on the topic? We'll hold them until Friday. We definitely appreciate y'all joining us and sticking with us.
Love.
Thanks for joining us.